So, I've been playing a lot of Deltarune lately. Uh, and I'm currently pretty drunk. A lot of vodka whiskey and Smirnoff Ice, which I guess is just more vodka. And I would like to recap my theories that I'm having. I'm not allowing myself any notes to read off of or anything. I am purely spitballing off of memory while drunk. My first thing I want to talk about is that Chris isn't us. This one's pretty obvious. It's chapter 4. Oh yeah, fucking major spoilers for Deltarune, obviously. Wait, there's a better way I can do this, I think. Let me fucking try it like this. Okay, it does work. Yeah. Just somehow worse than when I was on my computer. So, Deltarune, right? Pretty cool. Chris versus us, the player. So, I think Toby's made it pretty clear. Whoops. That Chris here. Do I have photos? Oh, that's a sticky note. Let's just draw Chris real quick. That's Chris. Chris is different from us. We're represented by the heart. So, I think the obvious thing, I'll zoom in, is that Chris here is working with the knight, whereas us here have an unknown motive. I think especially in Weird Root, with that whole, looks really bad. That whole who could be listening me shit, with Noelle. Fucking hell, that's crazy. That shit blew my mind. So evidently it is so apparent that we're talking not only from the first person as us, and I got like a fucking meta Matt Pat fucking huge penis game theory about what's happening there eventually, and that it's gonna be like a meta narrative about how we're trying to force a new ending onto the game so much, or like a glitch to take our own agency and make our choices matter, to the point of ruining this poor lesbian girl's life. Shout out Noelle, she's the goat. I'm gonna draw her here. Her horns. And like her freckles. Her body, yeah, that's Noelle. She's cool as fuck. I fuck with Noelle heavy. She's lesbian as hell. Good for her. And then I'm gonna take another sip. So, Noelle, I think, is gonna become our next vessel because of the whole heart scene in Snowgrave / Weird Root in chapter 4. I think that's her losing her own agency and becoming like what Chris is to us, someone who is inhabiting our perspective as the player. I think we're gonna sort of take over that. Now, what I don't know is I'm just sort of asking questions here, because there's a lot of questions I have that like I don't fully, I'm like too drunk to fucking discern the answers for. Currently, I need to take a while longer to actually, look at them with notes, and I do plan to go through the game for like a fifth time with like a notepad, similar to this, but like not drunk. Which, let me real quick just get rid of all of this, since I'm gonna be using the space again. Now, Chris is interesting. Let me pull up a photo of Chris here. There we go. Go over there. So we got Chris here. A few notes about Chris. We know for sure is that they are working with the Knight. And I believe Chris is the second Knight. Now, I don't want to use like sprites' names, but I do believe that Chris did slash like the whole swoon thing with whoops. Yeah. Like the like fucking, let me zoom out. Where Chris went all like that. I don't think that was the Knight. I think that was Chris. It's like a diagram of it. If Chris is like here, then Ralsei and Susie are like here. The Knight is like here. Chris slashing like that twice would directly hit Ralsei and Susie. I think that's what happened. Because Ralsei said the whole like, oh, how could you? Which is a weird thing to say to this guy, the Knight, who I believe is Des, but we'll get to that. I've seen a lot of theories of like, oh, the Knight's actually Ralsei. Or not Ralsei. Like fucking Carol or Rudy, and it's like, I don't know. I don't really believe that. Another thing we know, but Chris is not us. Very different people, very much something that Toby is really drawing a line in, is that Chris is not the player character. We are inhabiting the body of Chris, but we are not Chris. Now, despite what the fucking opening cutscene after the goddamn, like, Goner Maker, you go through, like, the whole fucking Goner Maker. It's like, you're fucking discarded, your name is Chris. I don't think that's true. I think our name is our real name, so in my case, I'm just gonna go with Sebastian, as that's my real name. And I'm gonna use that as an example. I think that Chris is, Chris, important. I also think not the hero. I don't think the hero of prophecy is Chris. I think the hero of prophecy is the vessel we made. This is, let's see here. I've got like my iPad in my hand, which is what I'm using to write. There we go. There we go. And just a little demonstration. That's the end of where we can see. Cool. Chris isn't Kara. If you think Chris is Kara or like possessed by Kara, you're a fucking dumbass. That's dumb as shit. Dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. I don't believe that for a goddamn second. In order to talk about fucking who Chris is and what their deal is, I think we gotta talk about whoops. No, I'm not here with this guy. No. We gotta talk about the Knight, which I'm gonna pull up in a photo here. Just scrolling through my photos and fucking Mario Goatsy is there. That's awesome. It says adding media, but I don't trust it. So if I like move over here and then sort of go around here so I know where the boundaries are. I think the night is Des. I think that it's not like some kind of fucked up fake out. I think very confidently that the night is Des. However, I don't think the night is Des. In the sense that I believe Des is the night, but the night isn't Des. Which, allow me to explain. I believe that there is some sort of... not Ming. Mind control. What's going on with Des. My theory, which I'll get into later, is that at some point Des has become part of the Dark World. Not become part of, but had adventures in the Dark World. I think there's a lot of evidence that the whole shifted prophecy, which I'll talk about later. The point being, Des has been in the Dark World and at some point got corrupted, sent to the game files. Des's consciousness, I believe, is currently in the game files, while Des's physical body is the night, and is a willless, soulless being, which someone, maybe a certain W.D. Gaster... Holy fuck, my handwriting's bad. Is taking advantage of to promote their own agenda. The fucking woke Gaster theory. Gaster's woke agenda. They're trying to they them everyone in hometown. I should also just label all of this as the night. God, my handwriting's terrible. So, who else? I think Gaster has something to do with the night because I think Gaster has something to do with the game, with the Goner Maker and the prophecy. And I think in the previous prophecy, Des is the girl in the previous prophecy. Now, I believe that the prophecy that we've seen in Chapter 4 is the correct prophecy, but I believe that it is also a simultaneous telling of prophecy of the previous heroes, which I believe are the vessel we created, Azrael, and Des. Now, what throws me off is after that is the girl, which I do not know who the girl is in terms of the previous group. I think the girl is exclusive to our group, and the girl is Susie. I think in the prophecy, the girl with hope, the second hero, I believe, with hope crossed on her heart, that sounds like Noelle, I think. Now, got a bit of a crackhead theory with hope crossed on her heart. I googled that to try and figure out what the fuck Toby meant by with hope crossed on your heart, as I've never heard that before, except in the context of cross your heart, hope to die. Which, if I move back here, I meant to do that on my computer, move back here, and that means, if I were to just like, yoop, that means a promise. And who do we know that has made a promise? Chris, right? Fucking A, that handwriting's bad. Can I, like, adjust my pen settings? Yes, I can. But, okay. Chris, oh my god, that E is so bad. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Chris has made some kind of promise to presumably Carol Holiday. I believe Chris and Carol are working together to free the night, to remove Gaster's influence, to get Des back into the body of the night, which is Des's body, which is sort of a vessel housing the night right now. And I believe Chris isn't a bad guy, or a bad them, or fucking whatever. A bad guy is gender neutral, whatever. I'll take another swig. I might have to grab another Smirnoff Ice. My second bottle. I do have to add, I'm not drunk off 2 bottles of Smirnoff Ice. I had a bunch of, like, a cocktail before, which is a really good cocktail. Let me sidebar. Like, up here. and I mean bar literally, cocktail I'm making is some amount of Irish whiskey, some amount of espresso vodka, I'm doing the Van Gogh flavor, a lot of mint, chip ice cream, and some coconut cream. So, this is really good. I was at a Sonic Jazz show. Loaded question, I know. And this is called the Miles Tales Per Hour. I really like this one, so I'm a big fan of it, and I've been making it at home. So I've been having a lot of that, and I made a really heavy batch by accident. Anyway, back to this. So, I believe that Chris's promise to Carol is in relation to the night/death, and that would be fulfilling the prophecy. Fuck. However, I believe Chris does deeply care about Ralsei and Susie. And at the end of chapter 4, the normal route, we are seeing Chris conflicted between Ralsei and Susie and Carol and Des, and that Chris made an obligation to help out Carol and Des. Or I guess Carol, to help Carol free Des. Helping Carol, whoops. Helping Carol. Now, I believe that this is... Yeah, I don't think Chris is bad. Now, the other thing about Chris, which, if I'm going to go into slight sidebar... Whoops, I didn't mean to draw that. Chris has seen some shit. I believe... I gotta fucking... You? The fucking egg room in chapter 3 and 4 really implies like a sort of therapy, art therapy vibe to it. And I believe the tree man is Chris's old therapist. Now, let's just sort of... Just go down here. Draw around where I can see, so that way I know where to draw with him. Cool. So, the tree/Eggman. There's a lot to say about the tree/Eggman. The first 2 chapters, I feel it's sort of just a weird fucking guy. But in chapters 3 in particular, and 4 especially, chapter 3 with the whole game world forgotten man thing, it says that we've forgotten him, or them, I don't know. It says there's a man here, so him, every other time. And the fucking music of the... That's eerily similar to Gaster's theme of the... Which Gaster's theme is like a bit of a... Where this is more of a... So like... I think the Eggman might be either Gaster or a Goner, or something related to that. I think Eggman is Chris's therapist. Now, Chapter 4's Egg Room. Let me finish off the Smirnoff Ice. Good stuff. Do I grab another? Why, yes I do. I'll be right back. I know I'm saying it like that. I'll fucking edit this shit out. Oh shit, it's my 8 p.m. alarm. Right. I don't know why that scared me so much. I enter my room and I'm suddenly like, oh fuck, that really scared me. I don't know. I've been thinking about creepy shit because of Deltarune, fucking weird root and shit, and that scares me. Not like creeps me out, not scares, I'd say. But like, it's very unnerving, I think is fair to say. Ugh. Hate that noise. Anyway, I'm back from getting more alcohol and going to the bathroom. So, we're talking about what? The Weird Man? Yeah. Let me move up to here with this. The egg. So, let's go. Ties to Noel. Now, I think that in the Spamton sweepstakes, there are some ties to Noel in this, and that she mentioned there being the cat petters game, and if you tap like behind a tree, there's an egg which you can raise for a certain type of special pet that is happy and leaves on its own. That's fucking interesting. So I think that is sort of an indication this is a glitch. All of the Eggman stuff is a bit of a glitch, in that I don't think it's supposed to be seen, and that Chris should not remember. I don't know how to spell that word. Funny enough. Chris shouldn't be remembering what they are seeing in all this, especially what is behind that tree. Now, currently, what is behind that tree is a man giving Chris an egg, which is pretty harmless, I'd say. But I do not think that is the case with what Chris originally saw, which, what I think Chris saw, and this is, pretty vague. Something to do, with Des. I think Chris and the tree and the Eggman has something to do with Des's disappearance. Now, Des, I thoroughly believe, is stuck within the code of the game and has at some point experienced the Dark World. Whether that be with Azrael, maybe that's even with Rousey, and Rousey is pulling information from us. Let me take a quick swig. Good stuff. Smirnoff, one of the goats of vodka. Big fan. Anyway, where was I? I think I have a photo of the tree somewhere around here. There we go. Wait, if I... switch to hand mode. It's a GIF on my iPad. And I like... Oh, okay. Anyway, now that that looks perfect and not at all scuffed, let's... another bullet down here with the tree. I believe that Chris saw something insanely traumatic behind that tree. Now, we don't know what it is, but we know that there's something about that tree in particular and behind. Now, the tree looks similar to the Scarlet Forest in the first game, but not entirely similar to what is in there, which is interesting. Deltarune. Fucking A. I can't type. I don't want to save that. Deltarune Scarlet Forest. The Deltarune Scarlet Forest is full of red trees and shit, but none of them exactly like that guy. And of course, there's the really unique music of the which, if I pull up fucking Google Piano, the shared piano mode, it sounds like. Yeah, so, what is that? C, D, E, so E, D, whoops. Whoops. Something like that. Which Gaster seem is like. You get the point. Something like that. So, I believe that this room, because it's the fucking, sounds so similar to Gaster's room. And Toby is so deliberate with his leitmotifs that I think this is very clearly something tied with Gaster, which interests me. Did Gaster, in between finding out he's polyamorous, decide to become a licensed therapist? Who knows? That could be the big secret. Gaster is a licensed therapist, an art therapist. Now, why does Gaster use eggs? I don't fucking know. That it just doesn't make fucking sense to me yet. And then, like, chapters 1 and 2, we know in the light world where to put the eggs. In fucking Asgore's fridge, in Sansa's room. Not Sansa's room, Sansa's convenience store, respectively. But 3 and 4, we got nothing so far, as of remembering. Off the top of my head. Again, no notes. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, I already kind of talked about the night being death and the shifted prophecy and stuff like that. And the egg room. If I sort of draw the hero as the vessel over here, and like, yoop, just draw around here and find where that is. There it is. This is the prophecy section. First things first, that I think is very apparent. Susie is not a hero. I think that is extremely apparent that Susie is not a hero. Gerson makes this obvious, in my opinion. But especially with the subtext, in that not only is Susie been an anti-hero. Let me take another swig. It's in 40 minutes? Fuck, I've been yapping. I'll wrap this up at the end of this, and then I'll do a sober version of this. I think, Susie being the dragon. Susie Dragon, oh my god, yeah, my handwriting's so bad. And I'm writing one-handed, very drunk, on like an iPad at a weird angle, so that doesn't help with it. Should have specified earlier. I believe that the prophecy, let me elaborate. I don't think Susie is one of the heroes of prophecy. I think Susie is a different character altogether. Gerson in particular talks a lot about how the prophecy has been adapted so many times that it's shifting. It's changing throughout each adaptation, and this is just an adaptation of the prophecy, which lead me to believe that the prophecy has taken effect with a previous group of people. I think that being Dess's party. I think Dess either fills Susie's role or R/Chris's role. And then Azrael probably fills Rousey's role. But we don't know because Azrael's off to college and fucking getting an education or fucking whatever. Fucking dumb gay piece of shit. Azrael's not gay, he's fucking Dess. Dess is a woman, so straight piece of shit. Fucking hetero bastard. Anyway, I digress. I think that Dess... Let me write this down. Dess equals... Whoops. Fun Gang 1.0. I think we are Fun Gang 2.0. I think that... I don't believe in it's like a time loop theory. I've seen some people speculate it's like a time loop. I don't think that's true. I think that something happened to the previous party that caused the prophecy to have to rewrite itself to fit us. And I think that that also falls into the Chris... I really like this interpretation of it, where the theory is called they/them, because that's really funny. As in they, Chris, slashes them, Susie and Rousey, at the end of the night fight in Chapter 3. And I believe that the reason Rousey says, like, how could you, but then proceeds to never follow it up. I hate saying proceed, because it's a weird route. I think that Rousey never follows it up because it's part of the prophecy in some way. And Rousey doesn't want to play into that. Because Rousey is increasingly feeding less and less into the prophecy and trying to avoid the prophecy because Rousey knows the bad ending it has. With it either, I think Susie or Noelle will die. And I think that's it. For that. Now, obviously the next Dark World is going to be Asgore related. We already know that because of the Field of Flowers, and also Asgore talking about the Dark Crystal. He's divorced as fuck. I'll get into that a bit more when I'm sober and willing to talk about this. Oh my god. And fucking, what else? Yeah, fucking, Starwalker is the best character. He's polyamorous. That's cool if that works for you. Swag. Fucking phase up. I'm doing the... I don't have a camera. I mean, I do have a camera. I'm just not turning it on. Phase up to the camera right now. If you enjoyed this, there's genuinely no through line to this. There's no end goal to this. I just was drinking a lot and wanted to talk about Deltarune a lot, and a lot of my friends haven't finished the game or don't care, so I just wanted to record this. I kind of like this format. I feel like once I gather my thoughts a bit more into an actual script, I'll try this again. Still drunk, but probably more fucking, like, structured than this. In the sense of, like, I'll actively plan what I'm saying and have, like, a general through line and, like, a thesis statement. Whereas this, I'm just sort of talking about the chapters. Which, oh my, I didn't even talk about the fucking, the E-Ram and the Shadow Mantle in the fucking fight. Oh my god. Let me give a quick aside to that. Which just like, oops, that's the backwards of my pen. Yoop. I'll put it up here. Where it becomes like Yoop. 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 So I have within here to work with. Where is here? Yoop. There we go. Aram, I think, is an anagram for mare, or like nightmare. Keyword in here being mare, because I think we clearly have some form of theming with the dreams, especially with like Noelle, and that we're convincing her it's a dream, which I think is interesting, which also just makes the most sense. And she thinks that it's a nightmare. She says herself that the dream was a nightmare in the Snowgrave route, and I think that Aram, or mare, in my opinion, has a lot of ties to the Snowgrave route / weird route. And I think that the shadow crystals are going to play into it, because we need the pure crystal and the thorn ring to make the twisted sword. Now, I don't think it's too crazy to assume that at some point in the game, Noelle is going to rejoin our party with the thorn ring, if you're in the weird route. And I believe that Noelle is going to be another player character, in the same way that Chris is, except we fully have control over Noelle, and Chris is fucking not happy with that shit. Now, I believe that in the cutscene of Noelle and Chris being used up, I think that is going to be us creating the twisted sword. Noelle being used up to get the thorn ring, to then use that as the item combination for Sean / the hammer fucking guy, hammer time, to make the twisted sword. And I think from there, fucking, what's it called? Chris is losing agency, but also taking control, in the sense that Chris was able to silence Noelle, or at least try to, from us, which, oh my god, that scene was fucking incredible, but also terrifying. That shit shook me to my core while I was thinking about it. The whole who will hear me thing is, oh my god, it's so fucking cool. Toby Fox was fucking spitting with that shit. I'm so curious about where he's going with this storyline, and I think I have a vague idea of what it is, and it's very similar to the end of Danganronpa V3, which, hear me out, I hate Danganronpa fans. They are the most annoying fucking guys in the world and girls in the world. I hate them all. They're so annoying. But Danganronpa V3, spoiler warning for Danganronpa V3, has an ending that it's sort of like a semi-meta narrative, and that, like, hey, it's weird of you to enjoy this because it's fucked up. And I think the weird route's going to be similar, where it's going to talk to you, the player, or me, like from the dialogue, of like who can be listening. And from there, it's going to be all like, it's fucked up of you to do all these things to these people, even if they're fictional. It's weird, and like, this is you doing it, not me. Me being Toby Fox, so it's you doing it, me being me, but also you being us, and me being Toby Fox, or the creator of the game. I don't know, that's confusing. I'll describe it better when I'm not like this. But I think that it's gonna be interesting how it plays out in Chapter 5 if we get a weird route, because Chapter 4, holy fuck, there's the whole thing with collecting money in the light world / hometown, and the fact that the festival's tomorrow, and that Asgore is gonna have the dark world of the Flower Kingdom, and fucking, I think that, yeah, that's the gist of my thoughts for now, of like what I've got while drunk. I meant to click something else, whoops, and fucking, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think that, I mean, Aram is mare. I just sort of write that. Aram, mare, nightmare. Alternatively, the other theory I have, mare equals horse. Maybe mare is a horse? So I don't know. We really don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna end the recording now, as it's been just under an hour, and I'm gonna, you know, put this through the editing rhythm and row, or whatever, rigmarole, and get this all sorted out, and I'll edit it, because I do want to I have a bunch of Deltarune theories that I want to talk about. I'm gonna close my iPad. I'm using it right on. Got a bunch of Deltarune theories I want to talk about, and I want to do it on YouTube. And I want to be a Deltarune YouTuber and be super awesome and cool with my Deltarune epic game theories that are all totally right and 100% correct and based on real American patriot fact checked. So, yeah, I'm going to end the recording here. And I think that a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is probably wrong. Or at least I've done a poor job of describing it, but I think in future, some of it may be right, because I think that literary analysis is good. And I think that if you are believing that Chris is doing the stuff in the weird route, you're dumb as fuck, and should take a grade 2 literature class, because your media literacy is genuinely fucking abysmal, and you are not the same as me. Goodbye.